Yes, people. Welcome back to the finished article and welcome to another episode regarding the World Cup 2022 in Qatar. And what a show we have for you today. Been some good upsets and some good games over the past 2 days. Before we get into it all, I will bring the other hosts on. Today I'm joined by, firstly, my boy Shazad.
What's happening, bro? You good?
Then we have Rich and we also have Adam. How are we doing, guys?
How are you doing, guys?
Very good. How's it going?
Yeah, not bad, man. Not bad. How's everyone doing?
Freezing, but good. Another dollar.
Get the heating on, lad. Get the heating on.
Oh, no.
It's hard getting used to having the World Cup in winter. I'm used to being t-shirt and shorts.
It is definitely. I think it's the first time they've had a World Cup that's not in the summer, to be fair. So it'll take a bit to get used to for everyone, I think, won't it?
Yeah.
But we've got a lot to talk about. Obviously, just before we came online, the news broke that Ronaldo's contract's now been terminated with Manchester United. What are your thoughts on that?
Not
hardly
really
surprising. Hardly surprising because it was. I'm surprised it took it took so long. I'm surprised.
That's true.
End it there and then. But I guess legalities.
We do have a comment from the Sky Blue Fans TV. Fancy Ronaldo at Carve with Doug's millions.
It's the team at the moment.
To be fair, our bench is looking a bit light, so
It'll just be a bench warmer at Coventry, won't it?
Ronaldo's entire salary covers the entire stadium plus the squad value.
Oh, that's crazy, isn't it, man? Crazy the amount that he got paid at United. Well, to be fair, I think it's a good thing for United that they've got rid of him because I don't think Ten Hag was ever going to play him again after his interview. And plus, it's an extra £500,000 a week that they could spend on younger players, bringing new players in. Like, I watched him yesterday for Holland, Cody Gakpo.
Oh, yeah.
Scored that header. That was a good goal as well. I think United are after him. I'm quite surprised they didn't get him in the summer.
Well,
yeah, played all right yesterday.
I think they left it to the last minute. Sorry, go on, Adam.
No, just saying, he played quite well yesterday. Good run for the goal as well. So,
yeah,
it was a good goal. Go on, Shaz, you were going to say something there, bro.
No, I think they've been linked with quite a number of players. I mean, I think the Cody one was down to the fact that if PSG qualified for the Champions League or not, so that's kind of why they couldn't get that one over the line. Remains to be seen. I say if he's available, then they might as well go. But they got to move quick with the World Cup on.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, if it were me, I would sign him in January. Make sure that we've got him, down on the contract for January. Whether he comes to United in January or, in the summer, it doesn't matter. As long as we've got him signed within January, I'd be happy with that.
I've just had a message from Nav. He said he sends his apologies. He's with family. I think they're.
I've just seen that, bro.
Today. Yeah.
No, that's no worries. That's no worries. I'm sure he'll be on some of the other shows. It's no problem. But yeah, Ronaldo leaving United, no big surprise. I don't think anyone really thought he was going to stay there, were it? Besides some really hardcore Ronaldo fans that wanted him to stay at United. The deluded ones. We've got another comment popping up from the Sky Blues hub. Glenn Watkin. Really enjoyed today's game so far. Saudi were great and Tunisia looked decent. Feels like the tournament is getting started now after some damp squibs game wise. Yeah, definitely. There's been some good results over the past couple of days, but we will get into them as we go along. We'll get into the first one more. I know you lot are dying to talk about it. The England game versus Iran. I'll let you lot go first. I'll give my thoughts at the end. Go on, lads.
It's easier than I thought it would be. England did look very good going forward. It was hard. It's hard to tell whether it's because of how bad they are or how well we played. But the end of the day, we can only beat what's in front of us.
That's true.
I have to say, I'm disappointed in you, Rich. For someone who plays Super 6 and you only predicted a 1-0 England win, I mean, come on. That's embarrassing. I mean...
Wasn't yours 7-0, Shaz, though?
Well, at least I predicted goals. One more than expected, but hey, you got to be positive.
We do have another comment from Darren. Do you know what? I thought Darren was joining us today.
Darren joined.
But he has left a comment. One negative about the England game, Mason Mount. Having Mason Mount in a team is always a negative, whether it's Chelsea or England. I don't see why people think he's so good. Like he's just, I don't know.
Well, I think yesterday's score was probably the biggest shock of the tournament so far. just because Southgate normally plays with 5 at the back, 2 holding midfielders, and the fact he scrapped that and went with a slightly more attacking formation, I don't think anybody expected us to play like that.
Well, not 100%. I mean, you were saying on the last show that you were expecting maybe 2 goals or even 1.
And then coast, yeah.
And then just close shop and park the bus.
But no, just kept going and going and going. It was great.
I have a question to bring up. Where was the concussion sub yesterday when their keeper went down injured? For
that was crazy.
How long? 10, 12 minutes. I was like, this is
like he was down for a long time, that goalkeeper, and then when he got back up, the medical staff let him play on for a couple of minutes, and I don't think they should have. They should have, as a precaution, just took him off.
Their players got in his head as well, though. If you look, 2 or 3 of their players went up to him, like they wanted to keep that keeper on, just because they know how dangerous his long throws are.
But they have
crazy.
They have 4 goalkeepers in the squad, Arando.
Yeah, it's mental.
In modern football as well, you're allowed 6 subs, so it's not like it'd be a big sub if they took him off. But
yeah, no, definitely. I think the goalkeeper who did come on, it was his first international game for Saudi or something, or competitive game for Saudi. So it was.
Iran,
I think that's why they wanted to keep the other guy on. Oh, sorry, Iran. Sorry, not Saudi. I think that's why they wanted to keep him on because he probably had more experience and. Maybe if he stayed on, England wouldn't have scored 6 goals, against Saudi, because the other guy was quite inexperienced. But
to be fair, if he'd stayed on in his current state, they would have got 10. he was a mess. He needed to come off.
He was a mess, weren't he? Like he was bleeding from was it the nose he was bleeding from?
Yeah,
and it's quite bad as well.
Just a case of straight off, and that's it. Don't mess about.
Yeah, I mean that's what this guy's saying here. The concussion rules are a joke. The Saudi player who got clattered by his own keeper's knee was down for a while before the game got stopped. Yeah, exactly. They were both down, weren't they? The keeper and the player. They were both down for quite a bit. But the other guy carried on that the keeper ran into.
But not only that, but you remember when England were trying to make the subs in the second half, it took an age for the referee to let the players on. Yeah. It was like, I have no idea what the referee was on yesterday.
Yeah, that ref wasn't on the ball yesterday, were he? There was something wrong with him.
Well, the penalty they had at the end, similar to the one we were talking about in the Ecuador-Qatar game, latter of the law, correct decision. But if you go by the latter of the law, the one on Maguire in the first half should have been given as well.
Exactly, yeah. If they gave that one, they should have given the Maguire one as well in the first half. I don't know. It's a bit. The referees aren't consistent enough, and neither is VAR.
No,
because the one with Harry Maguire and the one that Iran got were quite similar. So I don't understand how they can give one of those and not the other.
The one on Maguire, the defender's not even looking at the board. He's got one thing on his mind, and I'm going to put 2 arms around him, and I'm bringing him down to the ground.
Exactly.
The one that obviously was it Stones. Okay, yeah, he had his arm on him, but I mean, it weren't the worst. We've seen far worse in a lot of these games.
Yeah. The one on Harry Maguire was worse. So do you know what I mean?
But the problem is it sets a precedence. So now if you can't be consistent with your decisions, what are you going to do for the...
Yeah.
So the funny thing is the penalty that was given today for Messi was a clear penalty. It's the same as the Maguire one yesterday. So I'm like, well, if you're going to call one for that and not for the other, then it doesn't make any sense.
You're right, definitely. I mean, the referees need to be more consistent, and so does VAR on these type of decisions, because, like you just said, the one on Messi is literally the same as the one on Harry Maguire.
Yeah,
and one stood and one didn't.
In any game, whenever there's a corner or a set piece, you got the players in the box. There's always that little bit of pushing and shoving in the box.
Yeah,
and if you looked hard enough, you could probably find 3 or 4 penalty incidents every game.
Oh yeah, 100%. You see it all the time. Sometimes the referee just breaks it up and says, stop what you're doing, and then they take the corner. But it's one of those. Like I said, the referees aren't very consistent. Especially in a World Cup, they need to be more consistent.
Yep.
But let's talk about some of the positives from the game. Shaz, what were your positives that you took from the England performance besides the 6 goals?
Positives. Harry Maguire hit the bar, which it's been a while since we've seen that. He could have scored a few, actually.
Yeah, right at the start, he could have scored a couple, couldn't he?
He could have scored. Saka played well.
Yeah, Saka
had a good game. England managed to score 6 without Kane getting on the score sheet, which was another. It's been a while since Harry Kane hasn't scored. I mean, generally, I thought they played well, but I think, you know what? The problem with these added on minutes is that it leads to mistakes. So their goal that they conceded, I thought we could have defended better, but then again, as Rich said, it might just been a perfectly good goal. And obviously, your boy Jack Grealish getting a goal. We all know you love a bit of Jack Grealish.
That was quite funny because I was just dissing him in our group chat, and then he literally just scored.
It's Callum Wilson that did all the work.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Nice assist by Wilson.
It was an easy tapping, but a goal's a goal in it. So, but still, I still haven't changed my thoughts on Jack Grealish, and I probably won't for a while until he has really good, a full season of amazing games. I won't change my mind on him, and that's never going to happen because he's just too inconsistent.
Bellingham, absolutely superb.
Yeah, but Bellingham was absolutely amazing. He's only 19, and scoring his first England goal at a World Cup, that was just amazing.
There's every part of his game as well. You know, he was getting back, tackling, and he played that ball to put Wilson through as well, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
40-yard pass like that, absolutely inch perfect. And I think on another day, Callum Wilson probably would have had a go. I think he just found the angles a little bit too tight. I'm going to square it, and we'll just get another goal. I mean,
yeah, definitely,
very unselfish.
He was, yeah. I thought he was actually going to go for a shot himself because he was quite close to goal, but just squared it up for Grealish to score. Of all players, it had to be Grealish just after what I was saying as well.
To be fair, it ran for a while to come out, narrow down the angle. I think Wilson probably did well to pick out the pass rather than go alone.
Some
strikers might have been greedy and gone alone, but he saw his teammate in a better position and passed it. So
yeah, no, definitely. It shows that he's not a greedy player. And obviously England need all the goals they can get. And if he can do that in other games where, we're not going to win 6-2 and help us score goals, then, you know what I mean? It's a good thing he's there.
Well, I watched the USA-Wales game, and I got to be honest, I didn't think either of those sides would pose a threat if England play well on their day. I mean, USA.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think it was a 1-1 draw that way, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a 1-1 draw.
Gareth Bale scored, and Naeem scored for USA.
I mean, their penalty was just a bit of a silly tackle on Bale in the box.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, what is that player doing? He's just giving penalties away for fun. That was a crazy tackle that I don't understand why he would do something like that. That's crazy. And then I think after he was complaining that it was a penalty. I'm like, what? Like, you've just took him out with two-footed tackle, and you don't think it's a penalty?
Can't have any complaints there.
No, that was definitely no complaint on that penalty. I think it was a 100% penalty, that one.
One thing I will say, I do think Iran won't finish on 0 points. I think they'll at least get a point from somewhere. I can't see anyone in this group, obviously, on 0 points. Obviously, they're the only ones that can, but I do think they'll pick up something. I mean, I think their manager took off, 6 players in total, resting, I think, their best players.
Yeah.
So I think he realised in that game they weren't going to get anything against England, so he thought, right, I'm just going to rest them, bring them on, and we'll have another go. I mean, they've got Wales. Wales is probably their easiest game.
Yeah.
They're probably the poorest in the group.
They were quite poor yesterday.
Well, hopefully, if they draw with Wales, it will mean that we'll be in a position where if we beat USA, we'll have the group secured. I think a win at the moment. We know a win. We beat USA, we're through. If the Wales-Iran game's a draw and we beat USA, we've got it means we've won the group. So,
it's a given if that happens, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, on the rare occasions where Iran did have the ball, they did actually look like they could do something against us. It's just we didn't allow them on the ball very often. I think we did a really, really good job in keeping possession. It was like 80% possession, I think.
It was, yeah. Some of the possessions.
That's ridiculous for a World Cup game. And like I say, I don't think they are the mugs that people are making them out to be. I think we just played that well and made them look poor.
I think England just had a really good game. Possession-wise as well, like you were saying, that 80% is quite high for a World Cup game. And I think Iran was just sitting back and expecting England to, create chances and not score. But England did the opposite and created all them chances and scored.
If you watch our videos, but if you watch our games from the last sort of 10, 12 matches, that's how we play. We play very, very patient. We try and wait for those opportunities. Whereas I think, yesterday we kind of made those opportunities, at times. And like some of those balls, and there was a lot of space down in the wide areas as well. That free kick where Kane was through.
Yeah.
We sort of exploited the channels a little bit. It was quite good.
It was a good performance all around. Yeah. I don't think many of the players did anything wrong. Obviously, I know Iran scored, but I don't think there were any major mistakes. Obviously, the penalty was it Stones who gave the penalty away?
Yeah.
And I can't remember I don't even think the other goal was anybody's fault, really.
Yeah, the first goal was a nice move, to be fair.
Yeah, I think it was just good play by Iran, yeah.
I watched
first time finish as well.
Yeah. I watched it back and I thought maybe Maguire could have hacked him down in the box and given away a penalty, but what's the point in that when you're 4-0 up?
Exactly, yeah, you're 4-0 up. There's no need to give a penalty away. You just let him take the shot and it went in. I think it was just a lucky, like Adam just said, first time shot and it went in.
9 times out of 10 they go over the bar.
Exactly, yeah. So that was just their lucky shot out of the 10 that went in.
They had another good shot though as well. I can't remember what point in the match it was, but they did have another good one, half volley. Do you remember that? No,
I think it was in the second half, wasn't it?
It was in the second half, but I can't remember exactly who had it or what. But yeah, I know. Yeah. I was thinking, that's actually.
I know what you're talking about, yeah, because they did have
they only had 2 or 3 chances, but yeah, I mean, they looked dangerous when they had those chances. That's what makes me think they will get a goal against one of the other two.
Yeah, I think they will score. I think they'll beat Wales. I've got a feeling Iran will beat Wales.
I think that's also a warning for England in terms of defensive frailties. The fact that those, like as you said, on a good day. I can't remember who said it, but in the group, it was like a good team would put those chances away. So defensively, England still need to tighten up because other sides won't be as, gifting and not taking those chances. The other thing that I think that played a part in it is the fact that you knew you could get at their defense. Defensively, they were a bit up and down, and you knew if you get one, it was going to lead. It's funny because I thought it was 1-0. Went downstairs to grab a cup of tea. Next thing we know, it's 3-0. I'm like, where did the 2 goals come from? I was like, okay.
Yeah, no, definitely. What other games were on yesterday besides the Wales and USA one? I know there was another one.
Netherlands versus Senegal.
Yes,
that's the one.
That could have gone either way. Senegal played well and were a little bit unlucky.
The problem with Senegal is, and we know this, is the fact that they don't have Sadio Mane. In fact, both sides were lifting. Both sides were poor. Even Netherlands went at their best. It was just that when they had the 1 or 2 chances, they managed to take it. And Senegal, for me, without Mane, are poor.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, seeing the 4 teams, obviously, we're expecting now to top the group. And provided we do, seeing the 4 teams we can potentially face in the next round, I've seen nothing in the first game for me to be worried about.
Yeah, exactly. Netherlands didn't do anything. Senegal.
Netherlands, obviously, I know they won 2-0, but it wasn't a great performance, were it? It weren't like a standout performance where you think, if they play England, England could be in trouble here.
Yeah, exactly. So you got to get at them early because I think they start the game slow. I mean, if you run at their defense because they got Daley Blind, Van Dijk, and all that, let's leave it at that. But yeah, I think there's opportunities. Ecuador, for example, we faced them back in 2006. Even yesterday, that they were just that they were expected. They kind of didn't, destroy.
Qatar were that bad against Ecuador. They made Ecuador look like Brazil, but
no. But I think it was part of it was down to nerves as well. So if you look at the first goal that got disallowed, although I was a bit 50-50, you could tell they were just like jitters passing the ball. They were like disorganized, nervous. You could tell, man, they don't really play football against high pressing nations anyway. So they were going to struggle. I mean, you could put Peru against them and still lose. I mean, it doesn't make a difference.
Qatar lost 1-0 to Linfield, didn't they? Not that long ago. From North, was it in Ireland's Premier League?
Yes.
They played a friendly against them, lost 1-0. So I mean, if they can't beat teams in Ireland,
you know what? If you put Mark Robins 11 out there, they'd still lose. I'm telling you.
Oh dear. Someone's phone's going off there.
Yeah, it's mine.
All right. Is it the one that you're using?
Yeah. I couldn't get my old one to work, so I got the phone working. Right. It was logging on saying there was a problem that wasn't my fault. So
you need to tell Dan to get on the podcast and stop messaging you.
No, not Dan, it's the other one.
So, I mean, those were the games from yesterday, but obviously today's first game had such a big shock. Argentina lost to Saudi Arabia. Like, who could have predicted that? It was mad.
Because no one saw it coming. But the funny thing is that I think the first goal, like Messi scored, they had a couple of goals through VAR. Martinez had a goal. But Argentina's biggest problem, and you'll love this, Shaz, their best defender plays for Man United, yet wasn't in the team. They played, who's it? Sergio Romero played, and he plays for Spurs. I think we'll leave it at
that. That's quality, man.
Of 3 of Argentina's offside goals, one of them they didn't even need the VAR. It was clearly off.
Yeah,
flag was up. But the 2 that they were so marginal, and it's another one where
it's VAR, innit? It's like if you're slightly offside, then you're off. Your classed as offside, so disallowed.
Offsides in the game. They had 8 offsides.
I know they had quite a lot. It's like they don't even know the offside
rule. That's a record since the 2018 World Cup.
Wow.
So at half time, Argentina were well on top. I could not see. I know they only had 1 goal, but I thought they're comfortably. And
they were quite comfortable until the start of the second half, and then it just all fell apart for them. The first goal was a really good, really well worked goal from Saudi, and then the second one was actually Messi's fault. He gave the ball away in midfield, and it just came from midfield straight forward, and the second goal, and then Saudi just stuck it out.
Yeah, second half they were well worth the.
Saudi stepped up in the second half, definitely.
And then it's not
they added 8 minutes on as well.
It's not even Argentina had shot after shot after shot. They were restricted. Defending from Saudi Arabia was top notch at the end of the day.
It was definitely. They were on form in defence. I think they got the lead, and that's it. We've got the lead. Let's take the pressure and defend well and hit them on the counter and see if we can score another.
Yeah, rode the lock in the first half. They did. They rode the lock in the first half, but second half, I mean, they got the goal, and just the noise in the stadium, and you could hear it on TV. Yeah. The noise just lifted, and then you know what, we've got an opportunity here, and how that fella got past 4 Argentinian defenders to put it in the top corner like that. I mean, it's one of them.
No, but that was shocking defending in itself. I mean, surely someone should have closed him down. I mean, the way he just weaved his way past and then got shot away. I'm like, seriously.
Well, Charles, if it was Martinez from United, do you think they would have scored that second goal? Or even the first?
He would have taken him out. That's what I'm trying to say.
Exactly.
It doesn't make any sense. They just kind of shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, definitely.
But you know what? Argentina coming back early isn't a bad thing because it means that everyone else gets to rest. And I think for me, this game shows that Argentina will struggle because Messi isn't the player he was.
Yeah, that's true. Messi had a quiet game. It was a penalty that he scored, but he had a really quiet game. I don't think he had many chances. He gave the ball away for the second goal for Saudi. So he had quite a bad game, to be fair, for someone who's supposed to be one of the best players in the world.
Well, you heard what I said on the podcast the other day. I was saying he could wrap up the golden boot just in that game. But
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Madness. There was another game today as well that that's I think it's just about to finish, isn't it? Mexico and Poland. Oh, it's already finished.
Yeah.
Denmark versus Tunisia earlier.
Yeah, that was a draw as well, weren't it?
Yeah, 2-0 nils.
Well,
2-0 nils, and then we've got France and Australia at 7:00.
We're all Australia tonight, though, right?
Oh no, definitely not. It's got to be France.
No, of course we're Australia, right? If France go out, then that's all good. We're all Aussie tonight.
Yeah,
I think it makes for a better World Cup though overall. Though the sides, that our favourites do slip up in their first games.
Yeah, definitely.
The pressure's on more, so then the games become a little bit more intense when they're playing in that second and third match. But Argentina now they've got to win both pretty much to go through.
Yeah, Argentina have to beat Denmark and Tunisia, don't we? Not Denmark and Tunisia, Mexico and Poland. Sorry.
Yeah.
to go through.
Yeah, so, Poland missed that penalty as well. Lewandowski never misses penalties.
Did Lewandowski take it?
Yeah, he took it. He missed it as well.
I didn't watch it. I was finishing.
Plenty of power in the penalty, but it wasn't close enough to the corner. And I think even if it was, I think because the keeper had gone the right way, he would have saved it.
No, bloody heck! Not like Lewandowski to miss a penalty. Usually,
the draw was a fair result, though. To be fair, watching the game, I mean, Poland very, very deep, just allowed Mexico possession, but they just didn't have the quality to break them down, and then they were just trying to do them on the counter, but didn't really get anywhere.
Fair play. We've got some good games. Oh, 2 big teams playing tomorrow. Germany are playing and Spain as well, aren't they, tomorrow?
Yeah.
Germany and Japan and Spain and Costa Rica.
I wish I could. I think I'm going to have to change up my Super 6 predictions going forward. I might have to add some goals for the opposition. It's all gone to pot. But no, I agree. I think they both should win their game. But then again, we said the same about Argentina. So
yeah,
I'll be honest with you. Germany are a big threat.
The group stage always gives you one shock, and I think we've had that now. we've had it. Argentina took it.
But this could inspire those teams to step up.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Saudi Arabia.
There could be more. There could be more.
We can do that. So I think we might see another one. I hope so.
I think there will be. I think it'll be too. It'll be naive saying that there's not going to be another upset in the World Cup. I think there definitely will be another one somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, so far of all the games I've seen, the team that's been the most impressive has been England. I wouldn't be worried.
You could say that. You could say that. I mean, I think Saudi were quite impressive today with the way they defended.
Oh yeah, true.
I think they had a good performance in the second half. The first half wasn't as good, but England's performance in the first and second half were both halves were really good.
Yeah.
They were very disciplined at the back by the goal that they let in and the penalty. But you do make those type of mistakes, but England need to cut them out now in the group stages, and hopefully they don't make any in the round of 16 when they get a bigger team.
I mean, Denmark were well on top against Tunisia, especially in the second half, and Tunisia defended well. But I mean, they looked okay, Denmark. Obviously, they didn't score though. But probably looking at the teams, because these are all teams we could play in the quarters. Obviously, teams we played yesterday it's through pay we could face in the last 16. But your Argentinas and your Saudi Arabias, Mexico, Poland, they're the type of teams we play in the quarters, and neither of them, I don't think they've given me anything that I'd worry about, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, the way Argentina played, I won't worry about that at all. I mean, they just got beat by Saudi, so there's nothing to worry about with Argentina. I think the other teams, who are the other teams that England could get? I know Argentina and
we're talking the quarters or the last 16.
No, sorry, round of 16. Sorry,
round of 16. It will be Group A, so Netherlands, Qatar, Ecuador. We could have Argentina.
I think it's safe to say it won't be Qatar. They're going to be one of Ecuador.
Probably Ecuador, because Holland are a good team when they want to be. And I think if they get to the group of 16, Holland, they'll go into next year.
I think we'll get Senegal, and I think for us we'll beat them, because I didn't see anything that scared us yesterday. As for Argentina, whoever we could face after that, again, after one performance, probably not. But then again, we'll have to see if it wakes them up. But they kind of need to sort their team out as well.
So
yeah, no, definitely.
Do you think Senegal are going to finish second in the group?
I would have said that before the group stage, but obviously it will come down to what they do against Ecuador.
So the reason I say that is they've got They've got Ecuador and they've got Qatar. They ain't losing to Qatar.
I think Ecuador could top that group, and I think Holland are going to finish second. I think it's England, Holland next round.
Oh, you want to do that? Okay.
I mean, I think that'd be a really good game to have England versus Holland. I think
Ecuador, Holland is going to decide who tops the group.
Well, we did it in '96, so I'm sure we can get another 4-1.
It'd be to beat a team like Holland in the last 16 would be a morale booster. Massive
100%. Yeah, that'll spur the team on towards the quarterfinal, semi-final, final.
It'll be the battle of defenses: Maguire versus Van Dijk.
But I mean,
The thing is, though, Maguire, if he has concussion, though, he can't play for 10 days.
Yeah, that's true.
If they turn around and say it's concussion, he can't play now for the rest of the group stage.
But yeah.
Oh dear.
Which means Southgate's going to have to try and shoehorn in another right wing back somewhere.
Right wing back.
I'm surprised he didn't play Trent yesterday.
I reckon he'll put Trent in for Maguire, so he's got 3 right backs on the pitch. He loves a right back.
If he puts Trent in at centre back, that's it. It's game over. Trent's awful at defending.
Yeah,
Chaz is just shaking his head.
Yeah.
He's not even saying anything. He's just shaking his head.
I'm
like, nah, I can't
do this. If he played against Iran, though, he would have filled his boots.
Yeah.
Because, I think we played with 10 men in their half for most of that game.
Yeah, it was probably the longest game of football I've seen in a while. But 25 minutes extra.
Yeah, they added 10 minutes, 14 minutes on in the first half, and then 10 minutes in the second half, didn't they?
It's an extra half an hour almost.
That's it. They're clamping down on all the time wasting, aren't they? Which is a good thing, but it's madness because you get to 90 minutes now. There's still half the second half left, half left. I think I was a game earlier. There was only 4 minutes of injury time. I thought that's not a lot for this World Cup.
Mate, if you had that in a final, that is like nerve jangling.
Oh yeah, 100%. Especially if one of the teams are winning, bro.
Minutes. It's like I don't know what the referee's gonna. Actually, to be fair, in today's game, Poland. Who did they play? Poland, Mexico, I think it was. They only added 2 minutes on at the end of the first half, so hopefully no is coming back. But
I know on Monday at my daughter's school, they allowed the kids to watch the game. Apparently, all the parents were stood outside in the rain waiting for the kids to come out because they came in all the injury time.
Oh wow!
No way! So the kids didn't want to go out. First time you've heard kids wanting to stay in school. Just put the England game on; they'll stay in school.
Only if the games are on. I don't think they would stay. Otherwise.
Yeah, definitely.
It's nice that people are letting them watch them.
We do have some weird comments coming up. I think this guy's a spam bot, so I'm just going to delete these guys.
Definitely don't bring them up.
You don't want some free virtual girls, no?
I've just blocked him for 5 minutes.
That's mad. That's nuts.
That's what he's up to tonight, is it?
Yeah, he's spamming us from somewhere.
Hey, actually, Rich, you might as well check it out. You're a single guy.
Oh dear me.
Anyway, that's the normal.
Anyway, so what predictions for tomorrow? Not Argentina, Germany and Japan and Spain and Costa Rica.
I'm going 2-0 Germany win.
Yeah, the obvious predictions would be wins for Germany and Spain, but obviously we know that it doesn't always pan out like that. So
definitely. I mean, I think Costa Rica will give Spain a good game.
Absolutely.
Costa Rica are quite well disciplined, so I think they'll give them a good game. Could take that. It could be 2-1 to Costa Rica, that one.
Yeah, they're an Asian team, but sometimes an Asian team's an experienced team as well. So you don't know. It could go.
That's true. Costa Rica have been in quite a lot. I mean, the past at least 3 or 4 World Cups. I think Costa Rica have been in. I think they've even got past group stages in at least 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah, 2014. They had England, Uruguay, and Italy in the group, and Costa Rica went through. And we've still got half the squad left from that tournament 8 years ago. So.
Really, there must be an aging squad then. Yeah. So I mean, at least they've got the experience, and they might be able to give Spain a good game and take maybe a point or 3 points from Spain.
Yeah, I can't see Japan getting anything against Germany. Just they lost to Qatar, so that tells you everything in that Asian Cup.
Yeah, I don't think Japan will do much against Germany. I think Germany will.
They're the team they once were. I mean, Japan normally turn up to tournaments; they're actually half decent, but I don't think they're going to bring.
I don't think they've got enough to beat Germany.
One thing you have to talk about is the empty seats in the stadiums.
Oh yeah,
it's quite embarrassing from FIFA's perspective because they're trying to promote a world event and they're not able to fill out the stadiums.
No, anywhere else in the world though, they would have filled that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because let's be honest, some of the Qatari people, once they went down to 2-0, they're probably like, okay, you know what, I'm bored. I'm going to go. It doesn't exactly set the best example when you're trying to promote.
Who posted that video of the Ecuador fan arguing with the Arab guy?
I did, yeah. I saw
It was
that.
you. That was hilarious. I thought that guy was going to get kidnapped at the end of that game.
Apparently, there's another video.
Well annoyed.
There was another video where he'd apologized to the guy.
Oh, did he apologize?
There's another video.
What was the argument about? Was it the fact that he was celebrating because Ecuador won?
No, it was
promoting the fact that Qatar paid for the World Cup. So
he did the video just after the first goal was ruled out for VAR. He was suggesting that Qatar had paid VAR to.
Right, okay.
Oh yes,
okay, fair play.
But you're on the about empty stadiums. The Senegal-Netherlands game, they said the official attendance was 41,000 and something, but the stadium they were playing at only holds 40,000.
Interesting. So they're lying with the stats.
And then if you look at the pictures, or you go and watch that game, and you see any sort of pictures of the stands, it looks about 3/4 full at best. There's so many empty seats, so I think they're just fobbing us off. They're trying to make out it's something it isn't.
They might be going off the amount of tickets sold, and maybe a lot of people just didn't turn up.
What, they're carrying the fake tickets?
Let's be honest. This all goes back to the fact that if you give it to a country that doesn't adopt football as its national sport, and they don't. Okay, they might be Asian champions, but they don't play at the level that other teams do, like in England, France, Germany, whatever. They're gonna struggle because their public don't engage in the game the way others do.
You're right, definitely. I mean, I think it was the wrong decision to take it to Qatar, but let's not talk about why it's in Qatar.
Yeah, that's for a different episode.
We'll save that for a different show, guys. Are there any other games that are coming in the group stages that anyone's looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to Brazil, Serbia. I want to see how Brazil actually turn out, because for me, I want to see if Neymar's all the hype or he's actually going to deliver. Because
Neymar's just all hype, man. Neymar's all hype.
We know that.
He's just like Mbappe, bro. He's just all hype.
Yeah, Mbappe should get quite a few tonight.
Yeah, okay. This Mbappe, his highlights are just him hitting the ball over the bar or around the side, and maybe getting one goal if he's lucky. I watched PSG highlights once just to see. I think they won 2 or 3-0. I was watching the highlights and I'm like, that could have been what's it called? Mbappe could have scored a hat-trick, but the chances were for him should have been easy. Most other strikers would put them away, but he's just hitting them over the bar or side netting, or he's just gone completely wide. It's he's not. His accuracy is so bad, but I think it's because of his pace. He just runs too quick, and then he just can't hit the ball with enough accuracy to score.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Guys, I need to drop for a bit. I'll be back on shortly, but I don't...
Yeah, no worries, man. No worries, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Group H.
Group
H Thursday, yeah. Uruguay, South Korea, and Portugal against Ghana. I think those are two games that look fairly closely contest. I think it'll be a close contest in both. Could go either way in both of those games. So I don't think you'd be surprised whoever won those games.
No, sounds good. I
mean, you probably expect Portugal to win, but they're hit and miss.
They are, man.
And I don't know what Ghana are like these days.
Yeah, Ghana are a decent team. They are a decent team. I mean, with Portugal, it's going to depend on. They're obviously going to be dependent on Ronaldo for goals, because he's obviously their star player. But what's his mentality going to be like after that interview and now having his contract terminated at United? Is his head going to be at the World Cup, or is he going to be thinking where do I want to go? Where do I want to play next?
I don't think he'll be bothered, will he? Let's be honest.
He'll sort it out. I think he's got a big decision to make of where he's going to go next for his career.
He's been at enough of these tournaments though to know that he's got to be fully committed to Portugal, and then just worry about the club stuff when he gets back. At the end of the day, if he doesn't walk straight back into a team, he doesn't walk straight back into a team. But he's got plenty of time to find somewhere.
Yeah, of course, he's got until
And I imagine some of it get announced in January.
Yeah. I mean, if he signs for a club in December, he can't play for him though, can he, until January? Or is it because he's a free agent?
He's technically a free agent, isn't he? So I think
he's technically a free agent, so I think he can play for.
He could go wherever he wants. Yeah.
Right. He will end up somewhere in Europe. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up back over at Real Madrid, because Benzema's injured.
Yeah, that was mentioned.
Back at Real Madrid.
He could go there. It's all about who can afford him. Then there aren't many teams that can afford to pay the money he's going to want.
I don't think Real Madrid will want to pay the money that he wants, though. That's the thing.
But the thing is, commercially though, he's worth it.
Yeah, they'll make it back straight away.
Yeah,
it's like when they signed him from United for 80 million, they made that 80 million back in, I think it was like 2 days or something on shirt sales alone.
Already hit. I don't use Instagram myself, so know nothing about it. But I've heard he's hit 500,000 Instagram followers today.
Yeah, when he was in the interview, it was like 400 and something.
First celebrity.
Crazy. He's the highest followed human apparently on Instagram right now.
Exactly, and there's going to be a good number of those that want a shirt with his name on the back for the team he plays for. So
yeah, exactly.
Wherever he goes, he's just a commercial goldmine. So
yeah, he's going to make him money.
If Messi ever goes somewhere else, they'll go and sell.
It'll be the same with him. Yeah. Definitely. I mean, I don't know where. Obviously, Ronaldo says he wants to stay within Europe at a club that's in the Champions League, but I don't know if there's that many clubs in the Champions League right now that would want him.
I'd be surprised to see him go to another English team.
Yeah. I mean, well, there is a rumour that Chelsea are actually interested in him again.
Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I think it would be a bit of a piss take if he went to Man City, but they might do it just to just wind up United.
I know. To be fair, for a United fan, for him to go to any club in England besides United, it's just going to be heartbreak. The fans are just going to be so upset with him to go to another club like City or Chelsea because they're rivals, aren't they?
Exactly.
It's classed as going to Liverpool, which you'd never see a United player do.
And for what, if he plays against Man United, he'll score.
Oh yeah, 100%. Especially if he's with City. Yeah. City are like a goal machine now.
He wouldn't get many games for City though. That's the problem.
No, I don't think he'd go City because he won't. He won't get games over Haaland. He won't get games over Foden and other players like that. I think the only team that he could go into was maybe Chelsea.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's going to definitely get games over Mason Mount over at Chelsea.
But again, though, it depends on where his head's at. If he's absolutely adamant that he's only going to go for Champions League football, then his options are limited. But if he turns around and goes, actually, I ain't bothered. I just want to play and I want to be, in the team somewhere. A team like Newcastle, he'd play in that team. He'd start week in, week out. He wouldn't 100%. Play centre forward. He'd probably play just to the right or just to the left where he likes to play. Yeah, I mean, can you imagine Newcastle with Ronaldo? They could genuinely be in the Champions League next year if they signed someone like him.
Yeah,
well,
that's true. I mean, he could go anywhere right now, though, couldn't he? I mean, the clubs that are left in the Champions League, there's Leipzig, City, Frankfurt, Napoli, Club Brugge, Benfica, Dortmund, Chelsea, Inter, Porto, Real Madrid, Liverpool, Milan, Tottenham, Paris, and Bayern Munich. And out of those, I don't think there's many that Ronaldo would actually go to. No. I know Napoli were interested in him at one point.
But out of those teams, I can only really say that PSG and Real Madrid would be the only ones that could afford his wages.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't know. I think he could end up at AC Milan, AC Milan like to buy players that are a bit older.
Have they got the money, though, to afford him?
That's the question. I don't think anyone does, to be fair.
No.
And there's a chance that he could end up over in Dortmund because he's never played in Germany.
No, but again, do they have the money for that?
It's either Dortmund or Bayern in Germany. It comes down to the question: who can afford him out of the clubs that he wants to go to, and is he willing to drop his demands, his salary? Is he willing to negotiate on it? Which a player like Ronaldo, he's just going to say, "No, this is what I want. If you want me, this is what I want." And one club's just going to turn around and say, "You know what? It's Ronaldo. Give him what he wants. We'll make that money back."
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of who's willing to do that. To do that in January of all times as well, because not many people. The January window is never usually that busy, is it?
But injuries at the World Cup could play a part. Because if someone's got their main striker injured and out for the rest of the season, they might turn around and go, "Do you know what? We need a striker. Let's bring in Ronaldo. We're going to make some big money on the shirt sales. That'll cover his wages, and we'll just take a punt."
Yeah, just even if it's just to the end of the season, and then he goes somewhere else in summer.
Yep.
Like a temporary club. I mean, if he wanted to do that, that's what he wanted to do in summer. He wanted to leave United and go somewhere, but the Glaciers decided that they wanted to keep him because he's worth too much money. He brings in all that commercial money, doesn't he?
Oh, not anymore.
No, that's it. Contract's terminated, man. Gone.
Yeah, it's just...
I thought, to be fair, they've waited quite a while to terminate his contract. I thought this would have happened earlier.
Yeah, they should have done it straight away or waited till January and sold him.
He's been since summer, he's been very unprofessional in a lot of different ways. And it's just, I think it's just got too much because he's been fined as well. He's not been fined. He's been suspended for walking away at the Tottenham game. I think he got banned. Yeah. He got suspended for a week or so at that point, didn't he? And the first time he walked away in pre-season, he got a telling off with the other players as well. And you don't see the other players now walking off because they know that they're not allowed to do it. But Ronaldo's Ronaldo. He's like, he doesn't give a shit. The rules don't apply to Ronaldo. I think that's where the problem has. For Ten Hag and Ronaldo, the problem is Ten Hag has his rules and it's the same for every single player. And Ronaldo thinks that he should be an exception to that rule because he's Cristiano Ronaldo. And Ten Hag's like, well, tough shit. You play. I'm the manager. You're the player. You do what I say.
Yeah, well, 5 years ago, the manager might have been in agreement with him, but, he's getting on a bit now. He's not at the same level he was. And I think he's struggling to come to terms with that as a player. He's not the player he once was. Maybe in his mind he thinks he still is, but you can see when he's out on there, he can't do what he used to be able to. He's lost that bit of pace.
He's lost a step, hasn't he, in his game?
He'll still score goals because he's stupid not to, but he's just not the player he was. And I think he's struggling to come to terms with that. And I think he's more frustrated with himself and the club because he's not getting the opportunity that he feels he should have. I
think he should try and maybe adapt his game a little bit to account for the pace that he's lost. Yeah. If he adapts his game slightly, he might obviously score more goals or be a better player than, for the last couple of years. He might still be at that top level.
Well, over the years, you've seen United move players and see other players that have gone into other positions. So obviously Beckham went from the right to the middle. Rooney went from striker to the middle. Maybe Ronaldo needs to do the same if he wants to continue playing, but then he's not going to maybe get the goals he wants.
Yeah,
he's all about scoring goals.
Yeah, he wants to score goals. He wants to be number one at everything, doesn't he?
He says he's not after the records. He says it's the records that follow him, but I think he wants the records.
Yeah, of course he does.
He's broken so many records as it is, and he wants to keep them intact for as long as possible. That's why he wants to score more goals. And obviously, he said in that interview with Piers Morgan that for him, it's all about being number one. He doesn't want to be remembered as like just another great player. He wants to be remembered as the best player in football.
Yeah.
And he's not far off it, but obviously this little issue with Man United has hindered his legacy a little bit, especially with the United fans.
Yeah, he could have gone about it a completely different way. I mean, if he really wanted to, he could have just said, look, I need to leave in January. I'm gone. I'm not coming back. And then done the interview. And, people will be like, okay, fair enough. He said what he wanted to say and he's done what he wanted to do. Fair enough. But to do it while you're still employed by the club just before the World Cup just seemed a little bit petty.
I think he did it on purpose at this time because he knew the World Cup, that's a couple of weeks where I'm not going to be playing for United, and I put the interview out. United will terminate my contract within that time and I can find another club. And I think that's why the interviews come out when it did. Because that interview was pre-recorded. It could have come out in October. It could have come out towards the start of November, but it came out literally a couple of days before the World Cup started.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, it's definitely come out on, at that time because that's when Ronaldo wanted it. He wanted United to hear that before the World Cup so they can make a decision before the World Cup finishes of whether they're going to let him go or not. And I think he knew if he did that interview, he wasn't going to be playing at United again, so they're just going to get rid of him. He knew that was going to be a termination of his contract. You can't do an interview like that and then think, you know what, I'll be back at Man United after the World Cup and I'll be in starting 11. Yeah. You can't think that, especially...
he would have known they would have had to do something.
Exactly. He knew they were going to do something and that's what he wanted him to do. Maybe he should have done the interview in summer when he actually wanted to go.
Yeah.
Maybe if it came out then and they would have just, said, you know what, you can leave. We'll sell you. But this is Glaciers, isn't it? They don't know how to run a football club. That's all I'm saying on the Glaciers.
Yeah.
But is there any other bits of the World Cup that you lot want to cover on this show before we finish, or?
I think we've covered games, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've covered pretty much everything that we could today. We've gone through all the games that have been on since the last time we came on, and we've obviously spoke about Cristiano Ronaldo. So I think that will be it for today. But I am going to say before I leave, before Shaz goes mad, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We will definitely be back with more videos for the World Cup. We'll be back with more videos on football in general after the World Cup. These guys, along with Shaz, will be doing the All Things Sky Blue. Whether they're going to keep that same name or not, we're not 100% sure yet. We'll be back with more football videos after the World Cup on the Premier League, the Champions League, and obviously these guys, along with Shaz and Nav, will all be on these shows. If not all of us on one show, we will be on, here and there on the shows. So appreciate everyone tuning in. Appreciate Rich and Adam coming on. Appreciate Shaz coming on. Appreciate Nav's comments over there that came through. But yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Peace out, people.
Cheers.
Yeah.